Today, I actually wanted to talk about this year's Met Gala. I know it's out of the realm of what interests you, but the Met Gala, for those who don't know, is like one of the biggest fashion events in the world. And every year they have a theme, and everybody is expected to dress up according to the theme. This year's theme was in the memory and honor of Karl Lagerfeld, who is, one of the biggest and most recognizable brands, so to speak, in the world of fashion. I want to talk about this because I think it's extremely problematic. I I don't think you are aware about Karl Lagerfeld as much, but Karl Lagerfeld was someone who believed that his clothes were not meant for women other than a size zero or a sample size. And he was very vocal about it.
Mhm.
So there were lots of controversies around Karl Lagerfeld. He said shit that just did not make sense. He had issues against the Me Too movement as well. He was like, I don't understand where these celebrities suddenly come up 20 years later remembering something happened to them, and conveniently enough without any witness. So with Harvey Weinstein, the Me Too movement that started, and then Bill Cosby, I honestly thought that, especially the United States, Hollywood, which is considered, which the world looks up to and considers itself the most progressive on these issues for women. And yet, in 2023, there's an entire spectacle to honor this man. Like, I don't understand this dichotomy. Like, how does it exist? In, and why is no one talking about it? I don't know.
So what you're basically saying is separating what he did from what he said or who he was as an individual.
There's a difference. Yeah, like I get a lot of people have made this claim that you got to separate the art from the artist, and totally, I love Harry Potter. I grew up with Harry Potter. J.K. Rowling has said a lot of dumb shit. Would I still recommend my kids, if I ever had them, to read Harry Potter? Sure. Would I encourage them to go to an event that is in honor of J.K. Rowling, the person? No.
Right. The fact that you brought up Harvey Weinstein and even just the idea of honoring someone who might be considered similar in their standings or in their the voicing of their opinions around that. Obviously, Harvey Weinstein didn't really have an opinion at that point. It was happening to him. The Me Too movement. He's probably
Yeah.
the most popular person associated with it in the worst way. But I didn't know too much about Carl. All I know is what is being talked about right now. I saw some celebrities actually came to the Met Gala and openly protested it in the most subtle ways or not so subtle ways. Like Pedro Pascal, there was apparently this whole thing about Carl. Like you said, he didn't like women who were not size zero for his models or just in general.
Yeah.
And there was something about, I think, men showing their shins or their anything below their knees as far as being visible. He had a problem with that, especially, obviously, I'm guessing sizing was an issue, and what kind of person you were, which is why I thought Pedro Pascal's outfit was really strange. I'm like, why is this guy, who's right now the talk of the town, wearing shorts underneath this
Yeah.
giant jacket? And it's not even, I think it was like a red outfit that he's wearing underneath it. uh
Yeah, because he loves black and white. It's
right, so it's
like,
the most bold color,
typical
right,
Carl.
that you can stick underneath that.
Yeah.
So it was a big fu in many ways to the fact that we are honoring someone like that, and I can respect that. Within the idea of actually going to this Met Gala, he showed up and he still had his opinion, and pictures were taken of it. That's all that people remember from his being there, was that, yeah, he showed up wearing this outfit, and he could give two f's about whatever person being honored cared.
It's just, when I saw pictures of Lizzo walking down in her attire in honor of Carl, in my head, I'm like, woman, this man had no respect for you.
Yeah.
He would have looked at you and dissed you. He would not have ever put you in his clothes. He would have refused you flat out.
Right. It goes to the, I've heard people defending people who are from a different time saying, especially when if you look at a lot of the TV shows from the 80s, 90s, even early 2000s, a show like The Office would never survive today on network television because it would get canceled so quickly, just with the things that were not okay to say then, may have been slightly controversial, but
Yeah.
whatever. People did laugh at it and it was funny. But today, you try putting a show out like that, just the outrage around some of the content that was originally aired. Yeah, a lot of people say, at that time it was fine. Today, if you try making it, it's a different lens you're looking at the world through. And I've seen people make excuses for older people who say things that are racist, that are sexist. And you're just like, oh,
Yeah.
they're from a different time, that's the way they think, and we can't change them. You can't teach an old dog new tricks. Yes, if they said it back in 1970 or 1980, I'd say fine, they said it then. But the fact that they're knowingly saying it now and that is their excuse is not okay. And it's the same thing with Carl. It doesn't sound like this was not something that happened that long ago. He was
No.
very openly saying all these things and being who he was till pretty recently. So the fact that he was even chosen as someone to be honored is a question mark to me. I don't know who decides that. I don't know how that his name gets thrown in the ring. He's dead, right?
Yeah, he passed away, and that's why it's in honor of him.
Exactly.
Be hilarious if he was alive. He wouldn't let half the people walk that runway.
Yeah. That whole idea of separating the artist from the art that they made, it's tricky because a lot of books, a lot of what we now look to culturally
Yeah,
is
it's
is dated.
problematic.
There are parts of it that are beautiful, but there are also parts of it that are completely wrong. Hugo Boss back in the day used to outfit the Nazi group, right? That's what they were known for back
Yeah.
in the day. Today, I mean, I before I knew that, I'm like, whoa, those suits are cool. Hugo Boss. That scent is nice. Hugo Boss. I have no idea of this past. Obviously, they've done a good job with their PR of burying that, or so they think. But again, am I not going to buy Hugo Boss because at some point in time they were associated with the Nazi party? I'd like to believe if I was a conscientious person and voting with my dollars or having an opinion with my dollars, I would think in those terms. But the brand in this case has become bigger than the individual that started it, and the brand association of someone like Carl seems to have outgrown whatever stupid stuff he might have said as an individual, and most people are not able to see that.